Howdy, folks. What to do? I hope you're treating yourselves well, and of course, others. My name is Claire. This is a channel where I do tarot readings, and today specifically, we are doing love readings, or just how your crush feels about you, perhaps, is what I'm aiming for. And I hope that these messages are of help whenever they find you. What I'm trying to say is this is kind of like a timeless reading. But, okay. So, how your, I want to say love interest, but it could just be like a crush. Maybe specifically for this pile, it is more of a love interest. Maybe there's been some sort of confirmation that you guys are like aware of each other in life. Let's get to the bottom of it. Oh, this is pile 1, this blue deck. All right, so coming out immediately, you could have just gotten out of a relationship that was tumultuous, or maybe just gotten over a past situation, whether it was just a distraction or a serious interest of yours. The death kind of dignifies that you could be coming out of a cycle and feeling yourself, because the star came out exact with the death. So I was thinking these two cards are pretty impactful. They're pretty big. You could be feeling as though you are trying to, let's see, the 8 of Pentacles, you could have just been, like, I keep on going back to this analogy of tilling a field. So there's a sense of you're kind of just minding your own business, doing your own thing, seeing what arises. But I don't think you've really given in to any sort of love offers, or you haven't been paying any mind to relationships seriously. You could have been coming out of one, or just observing from afar love interests, but I don't think you have been dignifying any time seriously to anything, because the Justice card, I think you're kind of feeling as though you've been kind of shortchanged or overlooked. You could have been treated poorly. Maybe you're waiting for someone that really like fancies your interest. Maybe you have an inkling that you are meant for like a partnership in life, or you just strive for excellence at this point. You could be feeling like giving in to temptation at this point would be poisoning the well. Like if you were to give any time to people that you are not really interested in, you feel like you would be kind of spreading yourself thin. Like yeah, the 7 of Cups. I think it's kind of a mystery. Like, maybe you have your eye on people, maybe you don't. But I think overall you're kind of like, what's going on? Like, the world could be kind of topsy-turvy, a little Bizarro World-esque. But I think you, Magician, I think you were really feeling like things are up for you. Whether it is, like, observational, like if people can see it or not, I really feel as though you feel kind of like you're locking into your position and you're kind of getting ready to make changes in your life or strive for better. And I think that if it were coming down to love, the only way you would give in to someone is, like, say you're an empty cup, and say you are an empty cup. In essence, you're supposed to be a vessel in order to hold the things that you desire. So someone would need to really fill that cup. You really want, I don't think you are looking for like a storybook love, but you realize that you're the magician. Like, this is the magician. This is a huge card, and it kind of has an infinity symbol up there, or the 8. So I think that there's a sense of you are knowing that you will get through everything, and you don't want to be held back by someone. Oh my gosh, the Hermit. Yeah. I think you're really like, if you are interested in anyone, you're kind of taking a step back and like thinking thoroughly, like, is this an object that I am interested in for real, or is this just a desire? Like, is this something that I am, I'm hearing like prolonged satisfaction. So like you've gotten so many major cards in this amount, like the Star, the Death, Justice, the Magician, and the Hermit. There's such a strong feeling of you being very protective of your environment, in your headspace. I think you are kind of no nonsense right now, and definitely walking away from anything in the past. I think even if you have bad blood or not, there's a sense of like, hands off. I'm growing and learning at such a rapid pace that I don't even know what I'm like really getting into. So I don't want to, not to diminish friendship or make like connections feel like they're baggage, but like I think you feel as though things could weigh you down if they were not a part of your ultimate goal. I don't think you're in your mind so articulate about like, I need something to like be a perfect puzzle piece in my life, but I seriously think the Three of Rods, yeah, you're thinking forward motion, and if that takes, let's see what this, I really feel as though you are kind of, you have your eye on someone and it's taking a life-changing event, I think. Yeah, I think that maybe, because you got the Strength card too, so all these cards kind of make me feel like you're taking on something because you see what you want at the end of the tunnel. So there's a sense of maybe stating where you're at with people in your life. If you feel you are working towards something, you need to maybe state that out loud some way or another. Like, if it takes cutting off ties just because you know that they are loose ends and you're not about to proceed forward with them any longer, you need to sever those ties. Like, you need to cut off the things and start staking claims where you actually are trying to go towards the Temperance. Oh my gosh, all these cards are just major. It's crazy, honestly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cards, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them are major. So you're planning on changing your life. There's a serious need for you to take action, whether it be cutting something off or starting something up. If you are wanting to see results in a near future in some way, form, or fashion, if you have your eye on something, this is definitely a sign that things will only get heavier if you don't take them now. I think you will feel bogged down by the things that you're thinking about now if you don't take action towards them now. Whether it be small steps, small conversation, small actions, notifying people of certain things, trying to start certain things up at this point in time. There's just a sense of letting people know where you're at right now, so people can either get out of your way or aid you on your course. But there's a sense of, if you want to take change seriously, I think you've kind of already initiated the change, so you need to take this opportunity for severe change and maybe realize how life is, like how you have a voice in life, how your voice affects other people, because there's like the Knight of Cups. There's this feeling of maybe you don't realize your actions are affecting other people, and not in a negative way. I think it's more of like, I think people want to hear you more frequently, or hear from you more frequently. There's a sense of wanting you to be more authentic. Maybe someone has a crush on you and it's time to and you can feel that somehow and you're like, maybe you've had a crush on someone and it's never been dignified or come to light. I think that this is the time for you to take any feelings that you have seriously, whether it be towards a group, a action in business, or pleasure. There's just a sense of like, there's something that you've been sidelining, and I think in order for you to find the sun, in order for you to like really grow I think you're starting to feel that maybe love is on the horizon. Maybe you're moving somewhere and you feel like you'll have more opportunity there to find love, or there's a sense of like you're coming around it. You'll be more around it in the future. So now you need to kind of look into it or communicate right now, take the leap. Just a sense, taking your emotions seriously, because what you feel can become reality is what I'm really feeling, is the gist of what's happening. So I hope that this reading was beneficial. It was a bit weird feeling now, like looking back on it. You have a lot going on, so I think you're kind of just like ready for whatever's coming, but there's a sense of like, this is real and this is reality. So taking some actions, having those conversations really will put things into motion for you. And you gotta know I love you. Greetings. Pile 2, my guys. Welcome. Nice of you to join us. All right. This is the deck for Pile 2. And today we are speaking on love, relationships, where you're at in such a thing. Perhaps how the person is thinking. It's just an overall love messages, but, an array of things might come through. So for you, I think you are kind of done with being lonely. I think maybe you are feeling as though you need to really start seeing change in the people around you. 5 of Swords and the 5 of Cups. So, okay. What I'm saying, this is you. I think you're feeling a little testy, like short-tempered, maybe in the dating field or in a relationship. It feels as though I think there's a sense of you're wanting to see an end to a relationship if it doesn't get better, or you are kind of done with dating as of lately. The 5 of Cups, there's a serious headstrongness about maybe you are wanting to identify the things that no longer serve your best interest, whether it be like habits that you don't feel fulfill you. Maybe you've been into a dating culture where you're just hooking up with people and it is proving to be boring, unsatisfying. You could have been in a relationship that you feel the person is not taking you seriously. The 5 of Swords. Maybe someone has betrayed you or spoken ill of you. Maybe you've been trying to get over something. Maybe you're in a relationship and you've been trying to get past hard times with someone, but you're kind of just feeling as though, like, will this person ever change? The Emperor, very headstrong creature. Maybe you see a lot of benefit in being in a relationship, whether you're in one with someone or just in general, you see the merit in dating and finding love and all those things. Like, don't we all love? But there's a sense of, I keep going back to, like, your heart seems locked. I think that you're kind of blocking out how you really feel, in a sense. Maybe there's a need for you to identify what you want to say to a certain person to dignify an end, or to find out if you should end things. 4 of Wands, yeah, I think there's sirens. I don't know how loud they are. I think that you're kind of finding that you will find true love, and it won't be difficult. I think you have an observation or an honesty in yourself that things should be easy. The situation, it will be complicated. It's a gamble to be with anyone, but it should be wanted. Something that you want to do. Like, if you want to fight with someone, you want it to feel like, you know, like you want to go through the good times with someone, you want to go through the bad times with someone, and want it all the same. And I think that there's a sense of, like, people kind of wax over that and think that that's kind of twee. I think there's a sense of, like, not everyone gets love, and maybe not everyone will get this grandeur love, but I think that you have the Magician. Yeah, there's a knowing, there's a sense of you will come to terms with the things that you need to, in order for you to actually have someone to play with. I think that you want a relationship where you can, like, bicker and like play with each other, maybe roughhouse. I think you really enjoy spending time with people, laughing, but in a sense of, like, you want to know someone so well that you can be honest and trustworthy and just kind of tell them how you feel every step of the way, even if it looks ugly or silly. Like, you might change your mind later, but someone that's not gonna, like, hold that against you, you know? Patience, but not ignorance. I think that you maybe are finding that you are willing to white knight, or, like, you'll break your back when you are interested in someone. So you're kind of holding yourself at a distance, like, wait, am I always going to be like that? Or is it someone going to finally reciprocate? And I really feel the Knight of Pentacles, if you feel like you're giving too much to this situation, there is time you need to spend away from whatever. If you feel like you are trying to save someone or get someone out of a rut, if you have been staying around in fear that someone is a Hierophant, yeah. If you've been around against your better judgment and truly think, like, deeply, like, if you are not ready to, like, give up on someone, maybe give yourself space from someone. I think you need to clear your arena and your vision, look away. So when you look back, give yourself enough time to where you look, when you come back, it's like, you know, when you leave a room and you come back and you can actually smell what the room actually smells like, kind of thing. I think there's a sense that you really need to refresh your palate, because your view of what you're giving versus what you're receiving, the King of Pentacles, yeah. I think you have a lot to offer. Pardon. Yeah, the King of Pentacles. I think that you have a lot to offer, but maybe it's not been assumed because you're not giving to the right situations. You could be in a very tumultuous situation that is making your life more difficult than it needs to be, so that you are kind of weighed down by your self-implemented obstacles. I think that you have made your life heavier, making your natural talents and gifts they're missing you almost. I think that you could be reaching higher, and maybe you're getting winded because you're getting caught up in your day-to-day. I think that maybe you're fighting yourself, if you're not fighting someone actually, and there's a need. The Ten of Cups is yours. Like, if you could let go of the ties that have bonded you to what makes you feel like just like taking a nap. Like, if your life is so draining that all you want to do is escape, or you need to pardon, if your life is so draining that you need to like have an escape from it, there is a need to identify what you can do to make it lighter in order for you to be more charming. And I think there's just a really strong push towards like, you can have all the things that you want, but you might be putting on a front for someone else. Like, you might be distracted in this other situation when you could be in the forefront of what is your happiness. I think you are kind of caught up. There's something in your life that is keeping you distracted, angry, maybe just amused. Maybe you're just like into like a dating culture and you need to spend some time alone. There's something about like really identifying what makes you tick, what turns you on, what you really need in relationships. Even if you can't identify it now, it will assume itself over time because it's a growing process. Everyone is, but there's a serious sense of like, if you want passion, truly, there is a need to stop distracting yourself in other ways when it comes to relationships, dating, love. Maybe it's even like a way that you're thinking about how you're going to go about things. Just letting it all go for a second, taking a step back and just kind of really feeling out yourself. I'm hearing, gosh, I hope this is helpful. When I think back on it, I'm like, have I just been saying no words this whole time? Yeah, the Death card. So the Death card is just, there's a sense, you could have raw joy. You could have raw emotions, and maybe you're just dealing with negative emotions and that's feeding you some way, somehow. Like, it doesn't have to be in a good way. Maybe you're just like so prone to arguments and this downfall sort of lifestyle, like you're like addicted to hurt or pain in some way, and that's not a bad thing. It happens to all of us at some point in time, for real. Like, we all just kind of indulge in these things, but there's a sense of stepping back, cutting some cords, cutting some ties, maybe doing some routines that make you feel brand new, and getting a fresh start or a fresh look at things and going from there. And you gotta know I love you. Pile 3, hello. Hi, welcome. This is love, romance readings. The piles before this have been of no such thing. this could be messages of your current situation or advice on what's going on. Perhaps messages from a person. It could be a whole gang of things, but yes. Also, this is the pile 3. So, welcome. You're feeling perhaps like this is the Ace of Cups. I think you're feeling untouchable, or I heard undesirable. Maybe there's someone that's trying to make you feel undesirable, or someone that's kind of tested you in a way, but you know that you are like worthy of a lot. I hate to say worthy, but I think you know that you're like hot shit. There's a sense of the devil. I think you know that you're cool. You've got a lot of things going for you. You're smooth. You know how to speak to people. You know how to get your way. Doesn't have to be conniving. But I think there's a sense of like maybe people try to bring you down because you're very confident. You will hold your emotions out and dangle them in front of people whenever you feel like doing it. I think you relish in the idea of letting people know how you're feeling and where you're at, the Hierophant. I think there's a sense of like, it might be kind of like a superpower of yours, just kind of being silly, goofy, playful. I'm hearing, what is heretic? That word just keeps on coming and going, and just whatever that means. But I keep on looking at the crown in this one, so I think there's a sense of like, you know that you're gonna get it, you know you've got it. People might be enticed by you very easily. You're very silver-tongued. Hearing maybe even a silver fox. You just could have a lot of knowledge under your belt. You could know a lot of pleasurable ways. You're just very good at a lot of things that you do. The King of Wands, yeah, I think you are very good in social situations. So you maybe even are so, I'm hearing flighty, so maybe there's a sense of like, when you're done with something, you're done. It's over. You're moving on. There's so many things in this world for you to experience. You will uproot within a blink of an eye. And I think that you're kind of going through that right now. Like you might almost feel like, because you got the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Rings. So I seriously feel like you kind of have like a plight on your shoulder, in a sense of like, you're doing something for what makes you feel true. Like maybe you're telling your truth. Maybe you're being honest with people, or being more upfront about a situation that has made you feel a certain way. You could just be kind of like letting things out in just with your words or in creative ways. There's a sense of letting people know where you're at, because you want people to either treat you right, or like you're being honest in hopes that people will see your softer side, or how you want to be treated. The Knight of Wands, I think you want to be treated like there's a lot of sex appeal and want and lust and regard for these earthly things. I think you really enjoy pleasure, and you're good at it. But there's a sense where you want to only show and share that with one person. And maybe a lot of people have failed you, so you're kind of in like this night phase where you're like instigating only the best. Maybe you have someone in mind, or maybe you don't, but there is a retrieving of the things that you have been, the things that you have said, and kind of cleaning the slate. I think you're kind of in a sense, maybe even erasing things from the past, like editing almost. I don't think you're trying to hide anything. I think you're taking the things that you have seen and learned and actually applying them to your armor so that you look more pleasant in what is taking on like this next, I want to say persona or life. I think there's just you have like a new phase coming in. The sun, no way around it. There's a serious sense of life is longing for you, and I think people are more interested in you. You could have a lot of love interest right now, or just people that are obviously flirting with you, so you're kind of like really going, I don't think you're necessarily looking like you might not be touching anyone. That sounds peculiar, but you, in your mind, you're kind of ticking the boxes between your options and seriously thinking about instigating with someone. There's a sense of you are wanting to the Ace of Swords too. Yeah, you've gotten 3 aces, and I think there are 4. So I don't know why I said I think there are 4. So you're really starting over, and I think you are ready to start over with someone. And whether you have multiple options or one, it is serious. It's game time. I think you're about ready to take the Knight of Swords. I don't think you're like running in and saying a bunch of like what in the past you might have wanted to like tell everyone how you're feeling and where you're at, and just like word vomit just so people know where you're at. Like in essence, it doesn't seem like you're giving too much information just because you want people to know who you are and what you're doing and how you feel, all those things. And I think right now you're kind of moving more swiftly, like kind of in the shadows almost, but maybe making yourself known to certain people, or in certain ways you're kind of identifying where you're at, but you're serious. I think you're very serious, and I think if you have someone in mind, I think that you've been suspended, the Hanged Man. I think there's a sense of like maybe you have someone in mind or thoughts for moving forward, and with time they're just becoming heavier. Maybe you're feeling that you are like in need of a sign, or things don't feel like they're of good timing right now. The 9 of Swords with the Hanged Man, I feel you have either been like studying up on something or getting things ready surface level and mentally in order to actually make moves, because you got the Magician, which is number 1, and I think you're about to take off. And I think if you want to put yourself out there, I think now is a good time for you to connect with people. I think now is a good time for you to start up a relationship. This is a good time to I think this person is reciprocal. I think if you have a person in mind, I think you should put yourself forward and let yourself be known so that they can call upon you. It sounds like really stifled. I think you might be very nervous about the situation. If you are wanting to like hit on someone or provoke someone in some way, not in a like a bad way, but like I think there will be playful banter in your near future if you take a few leaps, or like take a leap towards someone. 5, 6, 7, the 7 of Rings. Yeah, I think it might be kind of up in the air, and maybe you aren't sure how things will result or go. You could be very like stifled by your mind. I think that there's a sense of like you'll talk yourself off a ledge because you feel as though maybe people are out to get you, or you were burned by your past some way. But I think if you have someone in mind, they might be thinking of you a lot. If you're having dreams about someone, or if you're having reoccurring thoughts, there's a sense of maybe you should have a conversation with someone, you should reach out, or just, maybe put an end to oversharing online if you don't have anyone in mind. Maybe there's a sense of you need to kind of look over your past posts or the things that you've been putting out into the world and kind of recall what is helpful and what is not. I think time away from online will serve you if you are looking for someone new in your life. But if you have someone in mind, I think that you should reach out to them in whatever way that you can. Even if you are feeling very nervous or feeling like it's out of the blue, just try. Just say something innocent or just start up a conversation in some way. There's a serious need for letting the mental stagnation go. Even if the person in your mind doesn't end up being reciprocal, you're opening the channel for you just putting yourself out there more frequently. And you'll feel what it feels like to go forward or be shut down in certain ways, but you'll still live. It won't take you out, I promise. It might feel like it will if you really are like thinking about it for too long. It might feel like it could take you out, but it won't, I promise. So you got this, and you gotta know I love you.